Good morning, everybody. Hope all is well. Today's venue is Buffalo Lake, Wisconsin. And for today's topic, video series number 3, this one deserves a drum roll. Okay, I didn't have a drum roll, so there's your fancy intro music. I promised something a little more fun this time around. So today's topic is old bands hanging on way too long. On YouTube here, we got a comment section below, so I hope you use it. Tell me what you think about this subject. There's a lot of classic bands out there with members in their 70s, sometimes even 80s. Obviously, when you start getting that age, your performance level is not going to be the same. Sometimes these musicians are pretty good and they can hang on for a while and still perform at a high level, but a lot of them can't, let me tell you. As a music fan, I'm kind of torn on the idea. I do understand why bands do it. Sometimes that's all those people know. They hang on too long because they don't want to change. And the obvious weakness of some of these old bands come from the lead vocalist without a good voice. Sometimes it's hard to listen to a band. I'm curious what you guys think. Do you mind going to see an older band, even if the performance is subpar? Do you want to spend your hard-earned money on that? Or are you happy that you've seen them in your prime and that's good enough? You don't have to see them now that they're older. Well, guys, look at that morning view. Can't beat that, can you? Speaking about lead vocalists, a lot of them just can't do the job, so these bands hire younger guys. And maybe if they're not younger, they're at least somebody different than the original that made the band popular in the first place. Usually you get to see a mixed reaction on that. Some people love the new singer because they can actually sing the songs. And then you have the other fans that say, well, this ain't so-and-so band without this so-and-so lead singer. And I get that too. For you guys, music fans out there, are you fine with replacement singers? Or would you rather hear a subpar performance with the original singer? Now, a lot of these bands, some of them you're lucky if you do have one original player in the whole band. Some die-hard fans let that bother them, but I think a lot of people don't care. And also for me, it kind of depends on the band. Let's take maybe Skid Row for instance. They got a new younger singer right now, and he is pretty freaking awesome if you ask me. At the same time, he sings all the classic songs from Sebastian Bach, and that's a big part of their set. So in reality, he almost sounds like a cover musician in a way, but yet he's singing with all the original band members. I'm not 100% sure if Skid Row was all original outside of the singer, but I think it's at least most of them. I will say this, I am a fan of the guy. His name is Erik Grönwall, something like that. I think he was on Sweden, American Idol, or The Voice, something like that. I had recently seen him do a cover of Iron Maiden on his own YouTube channel. I recommend checking it out. Actually, I'll leave the link in the description. He also recently did a Journey song cover. Vocal-wise, he kills it. Again, I will also leave that link in the description. And then you got bands like Motley Crue. You know, what do you feel about them guys? They're still touring all over the world. They must be selling tickets. People must not seem to care too much about the current situation. Sometimes people, if they go to a concert and the headline says Motley Crue, that's all they really care about. They're there for the party, maybe not so much for the good performance. A band like Motley Crue, they seem to somewhat highly rely on backing tracks. Of course, you hear different stories from different people. You know, can Nikki Sixx even really play his bass? I'm still torn on that. I don't have really good evidence that is at least any good. Who knows? But you guys, just go check out any YouTube video of Motley Crue recent performance, and you might need some earplugs, at least in my opinion. So for me as a music fan, I would have preferred Motley Crue to stay in retirement when they said they were gonna. I just don't think they can perform to a level that is adequate. But that's me. I'm not paying for their tickets. Obviously other people think otherwise because they're still going to the shows. Not sure if you guys knew this. There's actually bands out there that have 0 original members still touring. I think the popular band Lynyrd Skynyrd might be one of those bands right now. I believe the last original member recently passed. As far as I know, they are still out there doing their thing. I do got a different philosophy. It might not go over well with all music fans, but hear me out. We'll again use Lynyrd Skynyrd as an example. You know, when a band gets that big anyway, they're already a business. Why not do like a lot of big businesses do? They keep going as long as they can, as long as people keep buying the product. When an employee ages out, or maybe a CEO ages out, they replace them, and they replace them with younger, more qualified people. To me, I'd be perfectly fine with bands like Lynyrd Skynyrd, Kiss, eventually replacing all the original members with new, younger people. People that can carry on the image and carry on the music to younger generations. Because one thing I do seem to notice, these bands keep touring for a reason, is because people still come out and see them. Now, I don't think these new versions of these bands should probably create new music, because it will never match the old stuff, obviously. Even the original members, once they get older and they create new albums, nobody wants to listen to them either. So stick to the old stuff, basically. But a band like Iron Maiden, still selling out stadiums all over the world, and they're getting up there, pushing 70. Why not carry that on? Replace the members. I know a lot of people have a hard time with that. I also know that ain't gonna work for all the bands. You probably can't do it with the big juggernauts like the Beatles. But you know, big bands that ain't too small, I think might be good candidates. And like I said, Lynyrd Skynyrd, they're basically doing that right now. No original members, they're still out there selling tickets. Again, the comment section below is open. Any thoughts on these older bands? Any thoughts of them still going out on tour when their performance is subpar with original members? Any thoughts of them still going on tour with new members and still sounding great, but yet it's just not the same without the originals? Of course, like all things, everybody's gonna have their opinion. I would actually like to hear yours. Let me know. Another problem we're having, why are these old bands still so popular? People my age and up still like going to these concerts. For myself, it seems the older I get, the less concerts I want to go to. Sometimes the idea of going to these concerts sounds great until I really start thinking about it. Then I kind of tell myself, I think I'll just watch this on YouTube. Has anybody out there watching been to any cool concerts lately? Personally, I haven't seen too many in recent years. Kind of been avoiding it. Also, I kind of wonder, are these old bands still popular because the new rock isn't filling the stadiums? I don't know. In a way, if you're really a fan of rock and roll, that's kind of a good thing, because you can see a lot of these younger bands in smaller venues. Personally, myself, I haven't been to many large concerts, and the ones I have been to are not the most pleasant. I've been fortunate to like maybe the bands that ain't that big, and I've got to see a lot of my favorite bands in small venues. And maybe I'm getting a little off topic with that. Let's get back to the classic old time bands. Plus, again, if you made it this far, thanks for watching, because I do think I'm getting a little sporadic here. So hear me out. I will finish this thing off. Today's topic again, old bands hanging on way too long. So what are your thoughts? Should they hang it up when they can't perform anymore? Should they keep propping themselves up on stage because people are still paying? Should they replace aging musicians with younger ones? Is it okay to replace the whole band with all new members and carry on the name and tradition? Would you prefer to see a band maybe with half the original members that can sing and play the songs really well with new members? Or would you rather see the classic original lineup even though they can't perform up to par anymore? Again, for an example, Vince Neil can't sing his way out of a paper bag, but would you want to see Motley Crue without Vince Neil? Again, using Motley Crue as an example, they are currently touring without Mick Mars, the original guitarist. I do see a lot of people saying out there that Motley Crue is not Motley Crue without Mick Mars. What do you think about that? Because again, the new guitarist Johnny Five, he is younger and a much better guitar player. So do you want to see the younger guys perform the material correctly, or the old original guys doing it poorly. And that last statement there kind of puts it all together. And there you have it. You finally get a rock and roll based video on the One Who Loves Rock YouTube channel. This was video number 3 in this current video series. I pick a topic as I go for a walk and we discuss it. One problem though, I ask a lot of you guys to leave some comments below. So far, video number 3, 0 comments on all these videos I posted. So jump on in there, let me know what you think. Come on, people. So for today, that is it. Long live rock and roll. In the end, you like what you like, and that's how it should be. Thanks for watching, everybody. I will see you guys next time.